Thompson running the floor, and a foul.
I'm sure you've heard it all by now. Klay's not going to be the same player he once was. He's too old. He's overrated. It's over for the Warriors. While I've sat here for the past 2 years thinking about how silly these comments are, I've often found myself thinking of the good old days when Klay was lighting up the NBA. As I ran these highlights through my head on repeat, I began to think about all the things Klay has achieved throughout the first 8 seasons of his career, excluding the last 2. This leads me to the question of how good was pre-injury Klay actually? Was he truly on track for a record-setting career? Has he already achieved a Hall of Fame status? Well, today we're about to take a closer look at his pre-injury career and show y'all just how much of a beast Klay is. I could bore you with a bunch of words or numbers about how good Klay was prior to the injuries, but I figured there was a simpler way to put his pre-injury career into perspective. I'll highlight the NBA records he has set during his time in Dub City. First player to score 60 points in less than 30 minutes of action with his 60-point outburst against Indiana on December 5th, 2016. Most three-pointers made in a single game with 14 against the Chicago Bulls on October 29th, 2018. This was also the coming out party for a headband, aka Jackie Moon Klay. Most three-pointers made in a single quarter with 9 against the Kings on January 23rd, 2015. One of 2 players in league history with 7 consecutive seasons of 200-plus made three-pointers. You all know the other player, of course. And the first player in NBA history to make 7 three-pointers in consecutive playoff games. Steph has probably done that by now too. But the crazy thing is, those are just a handful of the records he currently owns. One of the main things that makes Klay so unique is the fact that he doesn't need to have the ball in his hands all the time to make an impact. Similar to how sharpshooters Kyle Korver, JJ Redick, and Ray Allen used to play, Klay can shoot the basketball without needing time to dribble or set himself up. In fact, when you look at the Indiana game where he scored 60 in 29 minutes, he took a grand total of 11 dribbles the entire contest. 11! The fact of the matter is, he doesn't need much to get going, hardly even the ball. Just give it to him and let him fire away. How many other guys can you truly say do that same thing? Another thing that made Klay so good pre-injury was his ability to blend right into the Warriors' offense. While some may disagree, I believe that Klay has always been the 1B to Curry's 1A. He's not the number 1 option on the Warriors every night, but when he is, he more than performs at that level. In fact, when Curry is having an amazing shooting night, Klay is often right there next to him in terms of points and efficiency, but just isn't noticed due to the nature of who he is. He rarely shows emotion and often doesn't make the flashy plays. His jump shot is textbook, but his shooting is out of this world. Personally, I believe that Klay has always been an underrated defender, having only earned 1 second-team All-NBA defensive team selection in 2016.
It has to be something said about that.
While he has yet to lead the league in steals, he's always been a pretty pesky defender, often taking on the other team's toughest player while still producing offensively. I think back to all those NBA Finals runs when he guarded Kyrie, Westbrook, Harden, McCollum, Lillard, and even LeBron at times. He's truly one of the most versatile defenders in the league, utilizing his 6'6" frame to physically challenge the opposing players night in and night out. Without Klay's defensive brilliance, the Warriors may not have been the same dynamic juggernaut in the mid to late 2010s. Moving on, honestly, sometimes I don't think people realize how clutch Klay Thompson has been throughout his career. With the game on the line in the biggest moments, it's quite often Klay who hits the clutch shot or makes the defensive play which sets up the Warriors with a chance to win. I think back to Klay's infamous Western Conference Finals performance in Game 6 against the Oklahoma City Thunder, where he dropped 11 threes in an elimination game on the road. Every time it seemed like the Thunder might pull away and finish the Warriors off, Klay came back with a bucket. Clutch shot after clutch shot, like clockwork. In fact, his performance was so amazing that it left his teammate Draymond Green in awe after that game. He literally had no idea what to say. He tried comparing Klay's performance to NBA 2K, but still failed to find the words. You don't get that hot in 2K. Them video games are real now, and that wasn't real. You can't do that in a video game. I don't understand what you all want me to say. Y'all are making me look like I don't know how to talk to the media at all right now. I honestly don't know what to tell y'all right now. Or his Game 5 three-pointer against the Raptors in the 2019 finals that sealed a win and forced a Game 6 in Golden State.
Van Vliet in pursuit. Iguodala back out to Green. Thompson, one fake, one dribble, one shot. Got it!
Year after year, Klay produced, which was a huge reason why the Warriors went to the NBA Finals 5 years in a row. Another aspect of Klay's game that made him so good was the fact that he could score the ball almost at will with exceptional efficiency. In fact, here's a bit of a crazy stat about Klay. Since entering the league in 2011, he has yet to shoot under 40% from three-point range. I guess it's sometimes hard to appreciate given that his backcourt mate has only shot under 42% from three once in his 12-year career. Now on top of that, Klay has averaged 33 to 35 minutes per game throughout most of his career and shot better than 44% from the field in every single season but one. The bottom line is, I don't think this gets talked about enough. Players who are good shooters routinely have down seasons that see them dip under the 40% mark for three-pointers, while seeing a decrease in their overall offensive efficiency. That has never been the case for Klay, who has always been able to make the most of his opportunities on both ends of the court. Here's a crazy fact. Prior to Klay's Game 6 injury in the 2019 NBA Finals, he had missed one playoff game throughout his entire career, spanning 145 total playoff games. In 6 of his first 8 seasons, he played 77 or more games, providing remarkable durability for the Dubs during that time period. Even thinking back to the 2019 finals when he suffered a strained hamstring in Game 2 and proceeded to miss all of one game before returning for Game 4. Now in hindsight, maybe he rushed himself back too fast given what happened in Game 6, but nonetheless. Next up, Klay's leadership has always been a huge part of the Warriors' team's success. While he's not the most vocal leader at all times, he leads by example with his work ethic and willingness to show the younger guys how it's done. After having a run-in with the law during his college days, Klay's public image has stayed remarkably clean, which has been another reason why the Warriors have had such a sustained level of success. They don't have to worry about what guys like Klay are going to do in their free time because they know that they feel a responsibility to the organization to lead the team with their personal behavior. Klay's not a flashy guy who draws a lot of attention to himself both on and off the court, which is exactly why both he and Steph are the perfect splash brothers, as they can appreciate each other's successes. Here's a quote from Warriors GM Bob Myers that sums up how likable of a person Klay is league-wide. "I've never met anybody who doesn't like Klay. There's 2 players in the NBA that everybody likes and respects, Klay Thompson and Derrick Rose. These 2 guys are universally beloved. How your peers feel about you in life says more than anything else." Well, clearly Klay is admired both on and off the court for his play and his personality. Let's play a little game of Did You Know? Did you know one of the most dangerous things about pre-injury Klay Thompson was his ability to get hot in a hurry? Thinking back to his record-setting games, it's amazing to think how hot he got in the third quarter against the Kings. He didn't miss a single field goal the entire quarter, shot only 2 free throws in the closing minutes of the third, and was hitting contested shots that even the Kings had no idea how to defend. The same can be said for his 14 three-pointer game, where he just got hot and could not be stopped. While streaky shooters like J.R. Smith and Lou Williams have made plenty of big plays throughout their careers, Klay is on another level. Do you need proof? How about his 60-point game against the Pacers, which saw him make 21 out of 33 field goals and shoot 8 out of 14 from downtown? Is that still not enough for you? How about an NBA record, 14 made three-pointers on 24 attempts behind the arc, 18 of 29 overall? Oh, and the Kings game where he dropped the 37 in the third? Yeah, he shot 13 for 13, 9 for 9 from downtown. and scored 37 out of his team's 41 points that quarter. So yeah, he got hot quick. Somebody call a heat check. When trying to answer the question of how good pre-injury Klay Thompson was, it's important to look at all the facets of what makes the 30-year-old two-way sharpshooter the player that he is. Obviously, there are major questions facing Klay's future, especially after 2 straight season-ending injuries that has sidelined him since the 2019 finals. How good the new Klay will be compared to the old Klay remains to be seen, but what's most important is that he's on the floor competing as much as he can. By the way, have you heard of a fella named Juan Toscano Anderson? You know, the Oakland native who has become a fan favorite in the Bay Area. Well, did you know he almost gave up his dream of being in the NBA? Yeah, you can find out that whole story right here in this video. He's an amazing man, and although he ain't no Steph or Klay, he represents so much of the Warriors culture. Click the video, guys, watch it, enjoy it, and as always, I'll see you on the other side.